Many of you may have heard of the incident that Mr. Snoop Dogg was involved in. And if you didn't, we'll bring it up for you. Right here, Mr. Snoop stepped his feet into some hot water, very, very hot water. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Many of you may not have seen this guy with his glasses off, but this is Snoop. This is Snoop, and he is older. So please, if just let the man be. He's aging pretty good, but he said something that has kind of put him on the bad side of the LGBTQ plus IA whatever community. Um, and for us who don't agree with the lifestyle, it may not seem as off the wall. You might look at it and say, "Well, that makes sense. Why are people upset?" They're upset because it's Snoop that said it, considering that he's always been one of the progressives when it comes to that particular side of life. He has never been one to talk out against them. All right, so let's listen to what he said, and then we'll break down what the tentative fallout would be and how he's going to actually approach this. Now, y'all can tell me if we're misunderstanding what he said. Many people are saying that this is him actually being a adult for a change and a father and grandfather. I'll let y'all make the judgment for yourself. Let's hear him.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
With Kiki Palmer is in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman?
How come two ladies got a baby? Now, normally, Snoop might have an answer for him. But remember, this is in the middle of the movie. Y'all know how kids are, right? Look, we got kids. Some of y'all got kids. Some kids don't have a volume control when they got questions. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to bet you money that Snoop was in this like, shut up, man. Shh. He was in that mode. Our grandson ain't going to listen to you, man. Grandson be like, Granddaddy, how come two women got a baby, Granddaddy? Now I know Snoop must have been like, golly, man, this brother, shut up, man. Now remember, that's what he's saying. How come it happened? This is what Snoop say.
Good woman. Oh shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, fuck me, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. You stand behind it for forever, man. Look, you were with this thing like 40 going north, right? Don't act now like you didn't promote it in your own songs and the way you backed it, Snoop. You backed it. You created this narrative. Now you look, I just love how narratives just play themselves out. You out there promoting it. You have the flag and everything, man. You were going like, whoa, what? You were going. Now you in the movie. Now you in the movie theater. And little man seeing what you've been promoting. Yeah. Little man seen it. Little man is like, but granddaddy, how come it is that they got, now this tells me that even Snoop, listen to this carefully. This tells me that with all his activism, Snoop didn't want to teach the offsprings of his offspring the wrong. Ain't that kind of weird? Like he didn't want to tell the grandkid that two women can be together. It sounds like he never even talked to the grandkid about that at all. In fact, it sounds like the grandkid knew exactly where babies came from. Huh. Almost like the grandkid was taught Nothing at all about what he's allowing everybody else to be shown in the public light. Snoop, is this you being a hypocrite? You know, like when you tell people, I'm all for you, go love who you love, and then you go home and you tell you, now listen here, kids, now listen, we're not going to follow none of this transgender and this gay stuff. We ain't having none of that in my house, okay? So when y'all go, I just understand. I talk different out there now. Talk different. Snoop, it coming home to roost, man. It is coming home to roost for you. Now the question is this: is this going to affect Snoop? Because he had recently inked a little deal, okay, with an Australian football league. Now, this deal that he signed was for a halftime show. And in this halftime show, he was going to be paid millions and millions of dollars, right, to do this halftime show. Now, what is happening since he said this, there has been backlash calling for him to no longer be the halftime show for this event because his statements were, well, you guessed it, homophobic. They were homophobic and not inclusive. And he's trying to make Disney look as the bad guy when they're just trying to do something inclusive for children to learn. Now, the question still remains whether or not they will invite him still to this particular event because it's later on this year. Okay. Now, this is for the grand finale of the event that he's going to be performing. It's call it like the Super Bowl, but not really. They have a bunch of LGBTQ plus media outlets that are even in Australia that are calling for the Australian event to not have him bring himself there anymore. So is Snoop going to eventually backtrack his statements and try to clarify, or is he going to double down? Now, if I were a betting man, which I'm not a betting man, I would say he's going to say, y'all just misunderstood me, man. What I was I didn't want to explain it to my kid in the theater. I explained it to him after. That's my prediction. He's going to come and say, I had a conversation with my grandson after the movie. The reason I didn't want to talk to him is because of the location, and it caught me off guard. Then they'll ask him, but why didn't you say that after? Well, but he will apologize. Trust and believe me, Snoop bottom line will be affected and he gonna apologize. Why is he gonna apologize? Snoop is a member of a very interesting group of people. And what's that? A group called the entertainers. And as with all entertainers, especially having been seasoned with the kind of seasoning he has been with his whole life, he will eventually kowtow to the mob. He will. Why will he? He needs that money. What he'll do, and if he does it smart, he'll do it this way. This is how, if I were Snoop and I wanted to keep my dogs and keep my friends and keep my title and keep my contracts and all, this is what I would do if I was him. I would blame this on my grandson. I'd blame it on my grandson. I'd say this kid put me in a tough spot, man. I didn't want to talk to him then, you know. I'm telling you the story about what happened, and I'm trying to make it a joke. You know, it was funny. Like the kid just talked to me out of the blue. But I talked to him later, and I explained to him that there's two women, and they might love each other, and they have a baby they get by adopting. And so, I don't know because I ain't watched Buzz Lightyear. I heard that they actually made it that the women actually had a baby together. So I don't know how they would explain that to a kid anyway, because it's just not possible. But if I was Snoop, that's how I'd approach it. I just tell them, look, man, some people just have babies. They can have them. They can adopt them. They can have them surrogates. I'd tell them something, but I'd explain it that way if I was Snoop. Something tells me he won't have to go that far. He won't have to go that far. He will simply just say, listen, I said what I said, and maybe y'all heard me wrong, but it just caught me by surprise. And that's all I was trying to say. It caught me by surprise. And I didn't want to have to deal with it in the middle of the theater. And if he doesn't do that, then he will fully apologize and said, my statements were completely out of pocket. I should have been more understanding, and I should have taken it as a time to teach my grandson about inclusivity and acceptance and tolerance and LGBTQIALMNOP I should have done that and I didn't. Please forgive me. And you know what will happen? Snoop will be forgiven. He will. He will be forgiven. Here's what else I think he will do. He will also be asked about certain things that he's also done outside politically, and he'll backtrack on that too. Why? Money talks. Money talks. Snoop can't run from his past. Okay, let's just be honest. Snoop can't run from the types of music, shows, and influence he has on culture. He can't do it. He has done a lot to damage Black culture. He has done a lot to damage culture as a whole by his lyrics and what he pushed. Let's be understanding about that one thing. Everything from how much smoking weed that he did, and on the sexual revolutions and all that. Look, Snoop and gang culture, shooting up. He's done enough. So it's not like he can say, I was always this upstanding citizen. He still has a rep to uphold because he's still seen as a rapper. He still has that, at least the mystique to hold up. And because he's in functioning in a location where that particular lifestyle is pushed, expressed, and embraced, he's going to have to pick between falling away from rap altogether. Mind you, he has a label, so he can't really do that, or apologizing and trying to get things right with the people that he offended. As of now, no cancellation has happened. He has not been asked to step back. He has not been asked to not have it. None of that's happened yet. But it could. There's been questions asked, people have been raising, saying we need to get him canceled because of what he said. And I have a suspicion that he'll have to eventually face the music and decide which one he wants to do, whether that be apologize or double down. And if he doubles down and the event decides that this is just not worth the negative press we're getting, you could see them cancel him coming for the halftime show. My only wish is that he keeps this up with his grandson and keeps teaching his grandson the right thing, that yes, two women cannot make a baby. Oh, imagine that you got to go. Listen to this. Look how far we've come. We are in a place now where you got to worry about, listen to me, going to a movie and having to explain to a young person next to you why there are two women on the screen that have a baby. That man, ain't that? Jeez. Whew. I tell you, we've come a long way backwards, and this ain't forward. This ain't forward. This is some crazy, 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 crazy stuff.